I hear him. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
Mr. Stephan Bog Shot, thank you for taking the time to see me. I know you're a busy man. You're in the middle of camp. Amazing stuff, man. I've been watching you the last few years. I've seen your development as a fighter, and it has been fun to watch it and to be a part of that journey. Now, I know in the last few fights,
bro.
Right? How you feeling, man, right now, leading into this next fight you got coming up, by the way?
Oh man, I feel terrific. I feel amazing. You know what I mean? Like you say, you've seen the grind. You know, I'm just ready to do my thing, reign supreme and be a king.
Nice. Eddie, is Jermaine Franklin going to be the opponent, or what's going on with that?
Man. Jermaine Franklin. I don't know. He got to get his business situated. I don't know what. You know, he's still recovering from COVID. Last time I heard. So I don't really know.
Was that what it was? Was that what it was for the last fight? It was COVID.
COVID. You know, I don't know, man. It was. They told me it was. He supposed had caught COVID 4 days before we fought. I mean, before the fight was supposed to be scheduled. You know what I mean? I found out 4 days in advance of our fight. You know, I got off the plane. You know, I trained in San Diego, went to Big Byrd, came back to San Diego, everything. Then I traveled to New Jersey because that's the airport hub that we went to drive up to upstate New York. As soon as I get off the plane, my manager is calling me, you won't fucking believe it, Jermaine has caught COVID. I'm like, what? We took our test 2 weeks prior to me getting on this plane. We both took the test like together. You know what I mean? At the same time, because COVID was very high, and we were doing Zoom calls and being instructed on how to do the COVID test. Mm-hmm. And it's just crazy. You know, he supposedly had caught COVID so suddenly. You know what I mean? They never tried to get the fight rescheduled. His manager and my manager, they never talked about making the fight happen again. You know, he's still been inactive. He's been inactive since 2019. So I don't know what he's got going on, but I'm open to that fight. I'm open to any fight. You know what I mean?
How does that work financially? Is all your expenditures for your camp, having to travel and go to another city, that's just a loss on your end? There's no compensation for that?
Yeah, it's just a loss. It was just a loss. You know, they paid me a percentage of what I was supposed to make, but probably like 2% of what I was supposed to get. Like, yeah, bro, they just, you know, my manager, he, you know, I went up there and, you know, because the fight was going to be up in West Point, up at the military academy. So the people pretty much showed me around, showed me great hospitality. I stayed at the prestigious Thayer Hotel. That's like a very prestigious hotel that they have up there on the West Point campus. And, you know, they pretty much showed me, they showed me around, and it was pretty decent. It was pretty decent, but I really wanted to compete. You know, I really wanted to fight. And like I say, I got a little percentage of my purse, but that was just to make me not feel so bad, because I was down, bro. I was fucking mad. I was mad as shit.
I could imagine. I feel like an opponent like that with some recognizable name in boxing circles, that's the kind of breakout name you need. Like you need, and from my observation on the outside looking in, it just looks like you're too damn dangerous and not worth the risk. Like it's like everybody's, you know, I hate to use that word because it really is a lot more complicated than avoiding or ducking or cherry pick or whatever have you call these terms. But it's like, man, just fight. Like, what are the options? If you're going to be a fighting man, a prize fighter, you're going to have to fight guys like Stephan Bog Shot. You're going to have to fight the Jermaine Franklins of the world. Like at some point, when do you step up and get the bag? Like,
and you know, like now, that's what I'm, you know, that's what we need ESPN for. That's what I need. You know, I'm about to make this move to Top Rank. And, you know, this is going to be my first fight up under that banner. You know what I mean? And then we got like a fight in probably in April or sometime after this fight. I'm supposed to be fighting a guy Guido Villanello. You know, they were talking about me and him fighting on that Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter undercard, but he pulled out with a hurt hand or whatever. He posted hurt his hand and he's out of the ring for about 6 months. And that was in November. So I'm thinking around April or May, you know what I mean, we can get that fight kicked off. And I feel like that's a fight that's going to help me propel to the next level. You know what I mean?
Is this something we can expect out of Big Shot Shaw camp, to be fighting more often? Or was that always the game plan, to try to fight more often? Because I noticed that the pro record started in 2013 was when you made your professional debut. See, that's
the thing, bro. Let me take you, bro.
Please do.
I turned pro in 2013. A guy signed with Al Heyman. You know, Kevin Cunningham, he was my trainer at the time. And he pretty much like put in, like, you know, he had the relationship with Al. He had the relationship with the entire Heyman crew. And this is before PBC actually popped off. Mm-hmm. You know, guys like Javante Davis, Erickson Lubin, you know, and, you know, we all got signed to Al Heyman around the same year, you know, around like 2013. Then my boy Caleb Plant, he got signed like in 2014. You know, I remember Caleb Plant hitting me up in my inbox on Facebook, like, man, tell Al, you know, a cold white boy. You know, I couldn't tell him, like, you know, I didn't, you know, I haven't met Al. You know, I was doing business with the guys. And at the time, I was letting Cunningham do all the business. He had the relationship. He was talking to those guys. He was getting me fights. So, boom. I win a national PAL championships in 2013. I come home the next day. My mother is telling me, oh, Cunningham has some great news for you. Kevin Cunningham has some great news. And we met at Red Lobster. I got off the flight. I won the belt. I won the PAL. You know, first round knockout. Got knocked out a guy in Kosi Solomon. He ended up turning pro and signing with DAZN and Matchroom and being managed by Sam Jones. And, you know, I knocked him out in one round. Boom. We go to Red Lobster. He tells me, Al Heyman wants you. Al Heyman wants you. They want to sign you to a 5-year contract. I'm like, oh man, where do I sign? Basically, where do I sign? You know, I got a 9-month-old son. You know, I just quit my job a couple months prior to that. You know, I was working at a warehouse. Schnucks Warehouse is a local grocery back home in St. Louis, Missouri, and I was working at their warehouse. And I stopped that just to, Cunningham said, man, you got to let that job go, man, if you want to work with me. So I let the job go. That's an ultimate sacrifice I wanted to make to work with that world-class trainer. And then he sent me out there to the National PAL. I won, did my thing, came back, boom. Al Heyman want to sign you to a 5-year contract. That was October 6th. October 11th, on my dad's birthday, that's when we signed the contract with Al Heyman. And I was official Al Heyman fighter. And then by December 13th, 2013, I had my very first pro fight, and it was on a Golden Boy card. It was on a Golden Boy card. Josecito Lopez and Mike Arnudis, I believe they fought as the main event. And Earl Spence, he was like 8-0. He fought, and Charlo, he fought. He was like 15-0, 14-0. And I had a first round knockout, 47 seconds in the first round. And then I had my second professional fight, January 24th, 2014. So this is my second fight within 6 weeks.
That's the kind of pace I think you're supposed to have when you first starting off, right? You're supposed to be fighting 3 to 5 times a year, no? Oh.
Yes. Listen, 4th round knockout. This is my second fight. 4th round knockout. Second fight. Then I turn around and fight again on an all heavyweight card back at Fantasy Springs Casino, Indio, California, where my first fight was. Jojo Diaz, he fought on the undercard. Michael Hunter, Dominic Brazil, Gerald Washington, and then the main event was Luis Ortiz versus Monty Barrett.
You give them, you give all those guys I know you'd give all those guys the work. Anyways, go ahead. So
destroy those guys, like beat the fuck out those guys. Boom. We go. I fight April 3rd. I have a second round knockout. You know, I fight a guy. I'm 3-0. I'm 2-0 with 2 knockouts. I'm fighting a guy with about 17 fights. He had about 12 losses, but he had 3 wins, a draw, and 3 knockouts. All his wins was by knockout. And, you know, 17 fight veteran. I'm 3-0. You know what I'm saying? I'm 2-0 coming into that fight. Boom, I knock him out in 2 rounds. Bro, I don't fight again until April 25th, 2015, a whole nother year with Bashir, who's my trainer now.
So can we talk about that transition? How did you link up with Kevin Cunningham? And his fighter just got smashed last night by Joe Smith Jr., by the way. How did you link up with Kevin? So your dad was your original trainer, correct? And then you linked up with Kevin Cunningham in 2013?
Yes, because, I had won the USA National Championship. I had won a gold in the senior men's division. And boom.
Because I know he trains Erickson Lubin. I don't know that much about Kevin.
Listen, all he had at the time when he was training me was Devin Alexander and Saki Obika. Devin Alexander was the IBF welterweight champion. Saki Obika was the WBC super middleweight champion. Devin ended up losing his title to Sean Porter a week before I had my professional debut. And Cunningham started trying to build a club back home. He had a club back in 2008 called Knockouts, Bar and Grill. He tried to recreate Knockouts too, like the new Knockouts, Bar and Grill. And it wasn't too far from my house. You know what I'm saying? So he said, "This is my new spot." When he first showed me, he said, "This is my new spot." I'm like, oh man, that's dope. That's dope. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't think I thought it was a boxing gym. I thought it was his own personal boxing gym. I didn't think it was going to be a club, like club and boxing. That don't mix. You know what I mean? Like before you get your own gym, you'd rather get your own club. That's either here or there. Make your money. You know what I'm saying? But so I went to USA Nationals. Kevin Cunningham come up to me at a tournament at home. I'm just a spectator, I'm Big Shot, you know what I mean? I'm a spectator. He comes up to me, he say, Devin told me you the one I need to see. You the one I need to see.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? So he said, come out there to the gym and start training with us. Boom. He want to fuck with me. He want to rock with me. Boom. I start training out there with Cunningham, man. Training with Devin. I train like at 12. Devin would come in like around 2. And at the time, it was 2 other amateurs alongside of me. Ken Miller and Sharon Carter. We were all training with Cunningham, all 3 of us, because we was out of the same gym back home. You know what I mean?
Is Ken based out of St. Louis also?
Yeah, he's from St. Louis too. You know what I'm saying? I'm the one that told his wife at the time was in the Navy. He said, "You be training in San Diego too, bro?" I said, "Yeah, man, with Bashir. You know Bashir. You remember Bashir?" He said, "Oh, yeah, I know Bashir from the pal." I said, "Bro, it's my coach, bro. Like, go holler at him." That's how Kenton start rocking with Coach Bashir. You know what I'm saying? So, long story short, man, Cunningham was fucking with me. That's how we started. He just came to some fights and said, Devin told me you the one I need to see. We started rocking. Then we was training, and I was working overnights. I got a son. I'm working an overnight shift, 10 at night, 8 in the morning. 20 years old. You know what I'm saying? Doing what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? Working overnight, but still getting up, getting my 4 hours of sleep. Still managed to, go to the gym in the evening time. Cunningham told me, "Bro, you got to let that job go, man. You want to get with this program." I want to get with that program. I'll let my job go. I'll quit this job just to take my career to the next level by working with a world-class trainer.
Mm-hmm.
Cunningham, he didn't have his own gym in St. Louis. He was renting out a gym from a legendary coach back home named Jim Howe. He was paying, just like paying like a monthly rent so he can use it and occupy it when Devin's in camp. This was before he went to Florida and started that thing down there in Florida and started working with Broner, Javante, and Erickson Lubin. You know what I mean? I remember Adrian coming to the gym out there in St. Charles. watching me hit the pass with Cunningham. That big nigga can fight. You know what I'm saying? I met Adrian back in 2003 at the National Pal Championships. We was little kids. He was the exact same way he's always been. You know what I mean? He's
I've heard no fabric. Yeah, I've seen
no
him in
fabric,
interviews.
no fabric. Yeah, when he was 12, exactly. Yeah. When he was talking about how he probably robbing people when he was 12. That's when I met Adrian. That's exactly when I met him. He was.
Man, I got much love for AB. AB's one of my favorite characters.
Man, that was my God. That's my guy. I fuck with Adrian. I don't care what nobody say.
Me neither, man. AB's my guy.
Yeah, and then because he's him. That's him. You know what I mean? West Side, Cincinnati. That's him. You know what I mean? More power to him. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie, seeing Adrian do what he did, like I'm like when I seen him when he fought Daniel Ponce de Leon, and then when he fought for the title, I'm like, that's sure is that dude. Adrian, he got a twin. Call him twin. He got a twin brother named Andre. You know what I'm saying? And they all up out of the same camp. They Rashi Warren and Cunningham, my grandfather, Buddy Shaw, all that Cincinnati, St. Louis connection. We all know Mike Stafford. My grandfather, he is a mentor to Mike Stafford.
So this is multiple generations, grandfather to father. You, Adrian Brunner, and everybody in the Cincinnati, St. Louis area has pretty much been linked up since what, like the 50s, 40s, correct?
No, I can say truly since the 80s. Like my grandfather, 80s, okay. like the 80s, 90s. Like my grandfather's a legendary coach back home in St. Louis, and he became a national junior coach. You know what I mean? He took guys to dual meetings like Malik Scott, Fernando Vargas, Ricardo Williams. He's been up to the Olympic Training Center, Floyd Mayweather, Andre Berto, Andre Ward, all of those. Everybody knows Buddy Shaw. And that's my grandfather. That's my dad's dad. That's how we got into boxing. Everybody know Coach Buddy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody from Gerald Tucker that's working with Floyd and Clarissa Shields. Like, my grandfather had fighters that was beating those guys. You know what I mean? Ricardo Williams Sr., Ricardo Williams Jr., who's Adrian Bronner's them. That's Adrian Bronner's them big homie. You know what I'm saying? Like,
man, I feel like I'm plugged into the Matrix right now. I'm getting so much information right now. When did you link up with Coach
like
Bashir?
That's how much it is, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying. Coach Bashir is from St. Louis too. Him and my mother and father grew up together as jits, bro. Grade school, elementary school, bro. Coach Bashir has a sister that passed back in the 80s. Her and my mother were like this. My mother could have been with her right before her demise. Like, Coach Bashir, first real girlfriend and stuff, like, that was my mother's best friend. Like,
amazing.
Bro, like Coach Bashir's best friend, his name was Jimmy Spain, is like coach football with my uncle KD. That's my mother's brother. Like, they all, like, my cousin Ronnie. I got a cousin named Ryan Destiny. She's a top model out here. She's Lori Harvey's, one of Lori Harvey's close friends. And like, my little cousin got 2.8 million followers on Instagram. Like, she's a big deal. And her father and Coach Bashir are like this, and my daddy. So they all grew up together. That's how Coach Bashir know me. But Coach Bashir went to the Army, and that's how he picked up boxing. He wasn't boxing in St. Louis though. My daddy was the one that was boxing. Okay. We didn't find out that Bashir really was entrenched with boxing for real until 2004. We was watching the Olympics on NBC. My dad, they doing a segment about how my coach Bashir, he cornered the only Iraqi fighter in the 2004 Athens Games. Do you get what I'm saying, bro?
Yes, sir.
We were at war. The country, United States, was at war with Iraq. Coach Bashir put us together by cornering the only Iraqi fighter in the entire Olympics. So they did a segment about how basically Coach Bashir is forming a peace treaty without the world is even on.
That's the beauty of sports. That's the pinnacle of sports, man.
So
basically,
basically,
yeah.
My dad, we watching. My dad like Steph. Bashir original name is Byron Moore. Mm-hmm. Byron Moore. His sister, he got another sister. She's a great basketball player. She's one of the officials. She's one of the officials for the Missouri High School State Athletic Commission. Like she's one of the officials, one of the referees. She was my gym teacher, Miss Moore, Danita Moore. So my dad's like, Steph, he calling my mom, Steph, look at Byrd. Byrd's on TV. He coaching the Olympic team. She's like, what?
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? You know, so he coached, so boom, long story short, he cornered Andre Ward when Andre Ward won his gold medal. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? And he was on the 2000 Olympic team as an assistant coach, 2018 as a technical advisor, and in 2012, he was the head coach. And our relationship started in 2012 when they invited me to come spar Michael Hunter and Dominic Brazil. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And this is me just coming back really to boxing. I stopped boxing for 6 years. I started boxing at the age of 9, won the national silver gloves, won the ringside. By the time I was 13, I was kind of burnt out. You know what I mean? My dad was being more of a coach than daddy. So that was bothering me. So I stepped back and said, hey, I'm finna stop boxing. I'm finna focus on being a regular young dude. You know what I mean? Just going to school and living my life. I play other sports. I played basketball, football, baseball within those times ever since I was little. But boxing was just that sport. But I needed a break at that time. I ain't gonna lie. I needed a break. So boom, I take off for 6 years, come back 6 months. They want me to travel with the Olympic team. That's how I meet Steve Nelson. That's how I meet Raquel Miller. That's how I meet Clarissa Shields. That's how I meet Robert Easter. That's how I meet Caleb Plant. That's how I forged this relationship with Coach Bashir. Nice. So boom. Let me go back. Let me jump forward back to when I had my third fight. I knocked the dude out in the second round. I'm 3-0 with 3 knockouts. Cunningham is basically trying to get Devin fights now. Devin fights Jesus Soto Carras. Cunningham tells me you're gonna be on that card. Boom. I don't be on that card. Boom. It comes, I don't be on that card. He like, so July or August comes around. He says, boom, you're gonna be on Sakio Bika's undercard. Sakio Bika fought on the card when Lomachenko and Gary Russell fought.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Sakio Bika fought, and Sean Porter and Kell Brook was the main event. And so, and the co-main,
I remember all this. I remember all this.
This is 2014.
Yeah.
This is when, I could have been on those cards. He telling me, oh, you're going to be on that card. That card come, it come around, I don't, oh man, we going to do something else. So boom, I'm kind of dealing with a little stress now. I'm not working, but Al Heyman, I got a stipend set up to where I'm getting $1,500 every month for the first year of my contract. Boom. So August roll around, that fight didn't happen. Adrian Broner is fighting Emmanuel Taylor in Cincinnati in September. I asked to be on that card. Said, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. I don't be on that card. They tell me, oh, you got to fight in December. All the way in December. Now, I haven't fought since April. I haven't fought since April. And now y'all telling me I'm about to fight in December. I said, basically, at the time, I was so fucking stressed out, bro. I wasn't really mentally ready to fight. Mentally, I was, all that shit was new to me. Not like being out there. I'm thinking it's finna, I let that shit bother me too much. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm really just coming back to the sport. I went to the Olympic Games. I won the USA Nationals. I won the National PAL and got signed with Al Heyman all within like a 2-year span after being off for 6 years, man.
It's a lot to process, man. The industry is no joke. It's the hurt business, man. It's cutthroat it's behind closed doors.
And I didn't understand how cutthroat it was at the time. But boom, I'm finna, bro. This is a deep story, man. This is a deep, deep story, bro. This is
fascinated. I can't believe I've never heard none of this, but it's like, okay, let's go. Let's go.
Bro. Then, so boom. Cunningham basically by time 2015 come around, I know what happened. He opened up his club the opening night. Chris Algieri, Manny Pacquiao fights.
Oh, wow.
This is the opening night of his club. He does he's premiering the fight at his club. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Me and my family, my wife, my mother, my father, and a few of like my cousins, you know, my dad's cousins, you know what I mean? My big cousins, my dad's first cousins, we all go to show support. And plus, we watching the fight for free. This is my coach's spot. Boom, a guy gets killed. A security guard gets killed in there, right? Security guard gets killed because some ignorant shit. Mm-hmm. Guy gets killed.
This is in Cincinnati?
This is in St. Louis, where I'm from.
Oh, St. Louis. Okay.
This is all back home in St. Louis, where I'm from. You know, because Kevin Cunningham, he's from St. Louis. He was living in St. Louis at the time. Devin Alexander, we all St. Louis guys. Corey Spinks. My grandfather was letting Corey Spinks live with them. My grandfather used to be with Cunningham. You know what I'm saying? And then my grandfather, they kind of fall out. Cunningham and my grandfather. He brings in a young fighter named Darren Cunningham. Darren Cunningham's grandfather, his name was Joe Dunlap. He brings him in. You know what I mean? Like Devin and Darren Cunningham, he's with Devin Haney. You know what I mean? He's cool with Devin Haney. Like he's making his rounds. He's young, 122-pound, you know, young contender. And you know, so boom. We all know each other. Cunningham been knowing me since I was a little bitty boy. I used to be coming up to his gym when I was 6 or 7 years old, before I started boxing. You know what I'm saying? So I looked up to Devin. I looked up to Cunningham and Corbin. Those are the last 2 world champions from St. Louis, Missouri. You know what I'm saying? So I have nothing but major respect for those guys. And I still do. You know, it's no bad blood between me and Cunningham. You know, it's just, boom. After the club situation, he's dealing with a whole bunch of lawsuits from that club. You know, a lot of people suing him. You know what I mean? My mother had just had a heart attack, man. My mom had just had a heart attack a couple months prior to that happening. So here's my mother in the club with motherfuckers shooting. We all on the ground. This is after Mike Brown in St. Louis. Like Mike Brown, Ferguson shit, that shit had happened down the street, not too far from where we live. You know, my parents, we still, so that incident at the club happened. So he's focused on trying to get Devin. It's a lot of pressure upon him as well. Mm-hmm. So what he does, he jumps ship to Florida. He leaves everything behind. He doesn't let me know. He doesn't let me know anything. We like, whoa, what's going on? We don't know. So we call Sam Watson and Brad, you know, the guys that work for Al Heyman.
Yeah.
You know, we tell them that Cunningham is out and we got Bashir. We've been, my parents and my mother and Bashir, they, you know what I'm saying? They tight. You know what I'm saying? They love my mama. You know what I'm saying? They love my mama. You know what I'm saying? Because my mom and his sister was best friends. You know, we all grew up together. They all grew up together back home in St. Louis. So my mom and Dad, they keep in contact with Bashir. You know what I mean? So they hit up Bashir like, man, Cunningham is out. We need somebody that's elite and that can take our boy to the next level. And Coach Bashir, like, I love to train Steph. You know what I'm saying? I love to train. That's how I started coming out here, Jay, and started training with Coach Bashir. You know what I'm saying?
That was about what, 12? That was 2015?
2015.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So we've been rocking for about 7 years now, coming up this March. You know what I'm saying?
You were signed with PBC for that whole entire time?
For that entire time, bro. Listen. So we call them and tell them we making a trainer switch, and Cunningham. So they like, so Cunningham is out. They like, yeah. We like, yeah. Cunningham is out, and we bringing in Bashir. You know what I mean? Because Cunningham, I guess he didn't want to rock with us no more. He didn't want to train me no more. Basically,
you got an undefeated heavyweight?
3-0 with 3 knockouts, 21 years old. You know what I'm saying?
With lineage,
lineage, man.
That's money on the table. At the
time, I was fighting. I was walking around about 265. I won the nationals 265, so I was kind of a little bit more on the heavier set. But when I fought, like my first fight, like I was 270. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm 230 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So I was still just coming back to the sport. You know what I'm saying? All we got to do is just keep putting in work. That weight gonna drop off. Just bear with me. Like, come on now. We ain't rushing and trying to be no young Mike Tyson and become a champion in 2-3 years and lose it in the next 2. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we in for the long run. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't think it was gonna be this long.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So you
turning pro at 21 years old. Like, come on, man. I'm going through a lot, bro. I'm going through so fucking much. So boom. So I get with Coach Bashir. We have my first fight in Reading, Pennsylvania. It was actually in Reading, Pennsylvania, I believe. And I think it was in Reading or Philly. I'm not too sure. But I had my first fight with Coach Bashir. I was off for a whole year. I dropped the guy twice. I didn't get the knockout, but I dropped the guy twice. I dominated. I kind of hurt my hand in the fight, but I dropped him twice. You know what I'm saying? And I did what I supposed to have done. So in my next fight, like, all right, now we getting the ring rust off. My next fight, first round knockout, 39 seconds in the first round. Then I have my next fight out here in California at the Hangar. I'm still with Al Heyman. You know what I mean? I have my first fight with Coach Bashir, April 25th, 2015. I don't fight again till September 15th, 2015. So that's like almost 4 months. Then I have another fight, December 3rd, 2015. First round knockout. I beat a guy by the name of Dan Biddle. He was like 9-4. He played in our second Rocking. He played in the first Creed, actually. He played in the first Creed. And he was hitting the bag when he came in the ring, came in the gym with Gabe Rosado. So knocked out Dan Biddle. That was December. I don't fight again till May 17th, 2016. You know what I mean? Actually, I go to a camp out here in like February. I'm thinking I'm gonna have a fight. So my dad, he's the one that's funding me coming out here to San Diego. He's doing his IT job. So he's the one that's actually paying my one-way ticket to get to San Diego. I'm staying in Coach Bashir and Lily's apartment and, staying in that extra room, that guest bedroom. This all what we going through. You know what I'm saying? We going through all this. So, making ultimate sacrifices, man. It's been a long road, bro. Mine coming. But listen.
It's coming.
So boom.
It's coming, Stephan.
Oh my God. Listen. Then where was I at? I'm sorry.
You met up with Bashir. You had that fight in December, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah. We come to. I'm sorry. I go to camp. So just in February, because we trying to be ready for the next fight. Steve Nelson, Steve Nelson went up there to Oakland, California to spar Andre Ward.
Mm-hmm.
I go up there with Steve, you know what I'm saying? Meet Virgil Hunter, meet Andre Berto, meet Amir Khan. Well, I already had met Amir Khan for the Olympic Games because we was training in his gym in Bolton, England, you know what I'm saying, for about 2 weeks. So I got to meet, you know, Amir Khan. I met Kevin Durant out there as well. You know what I'm saying? Because Kevin Durant and James Harden, they showed up to the fights one day. And me and Steve Nelson, we were going to the concession stands to get some fish and chips. And we see Kevin Durant. I said, "What's up, Durant?"
KD.
He turned around. "What's up, bro?" I said, "What's up, Durant?" He said, "What's up, bro? You good?" I said, "Yeah, bro." He said, "You straight?" I said, "I'm straight." You know what I'm saying? And then we went about our business. James Harden, he was just over there texting, just chilling. You know what I'm saying? So then we see Amir Khan chop it up. He's like, "Where's everybody's at?" You know what I'm saying? "We'll see you in there." You know what I'm saying? So boom, we go out there to Oakland. Steve Nelson is finna spar Andre Ward. Andre Ward is about to fight a guy by the name of Sullivan Barrera.
Yes.
He's about to fight Sullivan Barrera. And you know, I met Andre Ward, and, you know, and I was talking to Byrd. I was like, "Byrd, you know my granddaddy." He said, "For real?" I said, "Buddy Shaw, my granddaddy." He said, "For real? Buddy, your granddaddy? That's my dude, buddy. That's my dude." He said,
Nice.
"Byrd, but that's Buddy grandson." He said, "Oh, for real? That's Buddy grandson?" I'm like, "Yeah, like boom." You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I go out there, man, that inspired me so fucking much. Like, I'm like, man, I see Ward, then I see how he trained. You know what I'm saying? Like, young fighters need to go around world champions, especially when they aspiring young world champions. Of course, you have to see how to get shaped and molded. You know what I'm saying?
Which champion that you trained with was the most inspiring as far as just being disciplined? And you're like, dang, I need to be on that level.
Andre Ward.
Andre Ward, nice.
I went to his gym and I saw him. I saw him spar 14 rounds. I saw him get out of there from doing 14 rounds straight, you know, and then go hit the bag with no timer. Just hit the bag, no bell, no rounds, just straight through. Probably for about 15 minutes straight. Right after his 15 rounds of sparring. I seen that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, getting on the stair climber. I seen all that. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
You know, I'm just standing back. Looking. Like, as soon as he get done, they taking off. He said, "Come here, man. I didn't get a chance to meet you." I'm like, man, I'm Stephan Shaw. It's like, nice to meet you, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like this how I want to be. Had his kid, you know, he isolated himself away from his wife and kids, and they all in the same city and still, but he go isolate himself. You know what I'm saying? And they came to the gym. His wife and his kids just came up there just to see him, and they played around. I'm like, man, this is how I want my little boy to be coming around the gym. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I isolate myself now. You know, like I'm like, man, that's beautiful. I'm just so inspired. I'm inspired by greatness, man.
Yeah, develop those habits now, and they'll carry in to being a GOAT like Andre Ward is, man. You gotta isolate yourself from all the noise, all the static.
Yeah, man, and I do, man.
You gotta put that vision in front of you, and
man,
I'm
here away from my beautiful wife and my boys, man. I'm out here thousands of miles away from home. You know what I'm saying? It'd be hard. It'd be hard mentally, but like if I could conquer this, and I go run them mountains, conquer them mountains. Like, man, ain't nothing. Like, what can man do with me when I stand toe to toe with the sun? That's my man.
True that. That's the way to do it. Character and grit and toughness. It doesn't come free. And those kind of hurdles and obstacles, those are the things that are gonna make you a champion coming up from that, because it doesn't come from nothing. It's got to come from somewhere.
Facts,
it's got to come from somewhere.
Facts.
Oh man, we lose it. So let me talk about let's
my bad, bro. I could keep going.
I know. I'm just like, dang, it's such a flood of information. I'm like, my mind is blown right now. I'm like, whoa, when I go back over this video, when I go back over this footage, It's going to be boggling. I got to cut this into sections and figure out, man, so much information. The lineage is just too damn legit. It's like, whoa, that's crazy. It like, the more you keep explaining where you came from and the lineage and the family connections, it's like, oh, this just sounds a lot like destiny. Like, you need to be holding up that strap. You really do. You know, I noticed in that last fight you had with Nick Davis, right? Then in that last fight you had with Nick Davis, you did that Muhammad Ali thing where you prophesied, I'm going to knock this dude out within the first. And you did that. What inspired that? That was new. What made you do that?
I don't know, man. I just said I'm putting him to sleep. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting him to sleep, you know, and I literally put him to sleep. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't on my level. He wasn't on my level. You know, sacrificial lamb. Anybody that's stepping there with me is a sacrificial lamb on you know, going to the slaughterhouse. And that's just how I feel. You know, I put too much in it. You know what I'm saying?
I seen your previous opponent Pinchuk on that Top Rank card last night. And I was watching him fight. I was like, oh yeah, he was dusting his opponent. And I was like, that's funny because he's dusting his opponent, but that fight with Stephan, he was getting dusted. You know, and you know, that's how there's levels to this.
And that was coming off a whole year. You know what I'm saying? I was coming off a whole year. And I like to fight in a certain kind of glove, power locks, because I hurt my hand. I hurt my hands because we big guys, man. You can easily hurt your hands. And I fought in and the only glove that was big enough to fit my hands were the second pair of gloves that Pinchuk fought in. Like he fought in some all white, like Everlast MX, like with the horsehair, like those Mexico type Everlast gloves, like they made with horsehair instead of like traditional padding. So it's like it's already broken into. Floyd didn't want McDonald to fight him in those gloves. You know what I mean?
I remember that.
Because he's like, where the fucking padding at? So I don't like to wear those. So I hurt my hand pretty bad, but I was still fighting and still going through it. And I beat the fuck out of him. You know what I'm saying? And I was off for a whole year, you know, and I boxed beautifully. Like he had, like to be honest, bro, I only had like 30 something amateur fights. And that's from when I was a kid to as a grown man. I only had 50 some boxing matches in my entire career, and that's including pro fights. You know what I'm saying? But I've only got better and better and better. Like these dudes can't do nothing with me for real. And
yeah, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the progress, and it's amazing to watch it. I've seen you slim down. You're a lot more mobile. You're moving laterally. The defense is looking slick. The punches in bunches. The combination punching, in my opinion, is probably the best combination punching in the heavyweight division. And that's just being honest. That's just a neutral observation of looking at the skill set. Like, man, Stephan's combination punching is ridiculous. And shot placement, Stephan, man, you got the gift. You got the gift,
bro.
my guy.
And then, like, I kind of want to go back, bro. Like, so boom. I fight Danny Kelly. My first fight on PBC. I fight on PBC. PBC is a thing now. I don't even know that I'm about to fight on TV until the weigh-ins, the day of the weigh-ins. They like, you've been bumped up. You the first fight on TV. I'm like, cool. I'm finna fight a guy by the name of Danny Kelly. May he rest in peace. He just passed due to a road rage incident. You know, may his soul rest in peace, and you know, condolences to his family and his children. You know, get that up. But I fight Danny Kelly. He was a nationally ranked fighter. He was on the national team. He went and fought Zhang Li in a duel. You know, the Olympic silver medalist of 2008. He fought on the national team and went to the Pan Am Games with Earl Spence. You know, so he was a legit fighter. He was 9-2 with 8 knockouts. And he had just fought Adam Kalnacki. And it was like him and Adam Kalnacki, they was banging, you know what I'm saying? But Adam Kalnacki got him. You know what I'm saying? But when I fought him, it was more dominant and cleaner than that. You know what I'm saying? So boom, I beat Danny Kelly in May. You know what I'm saying? Like my first TV fight, I shine. I ain't knock him out, but I showed more than just rock'em sock'em robots and just, oh, all I got is a big shot and I'm gonna knock you out. No, I showed that I got skills. I wanted to show that. I wanted to show him I got skills. So boom, beat Danny Kelly. Then I turned around and fight a guy by the name of Johnny Rice. Johnny Rice just destroyed Michael Pilat Coffee twice.
I seen that.
Hold on. Now I'm 8-0. 23 years old. Jonathan Rice was 4-1 at the time. He's now like 15-6. He was 4-1 at the time. And I was 7-0. I was 7-0 after beating Danny Kelly. 7-0 with 5 knockouts. Then I fight Jonathan Rice, who was 4-1, 1 draw. I beat Jonathan Rice. He kind of ran. He basically ran from me. He didn't want to engage. He didn't want to really put up no real fight. And, I dominated and beat his ass, and
what was the headline on that fight?
Floyd Mayweather was at the fight.
Oh, snap.
The headliner was Robert Guerrero.
Okay.
He fought an Argentinian, no-name Argentinian. You know what I'm saying? Robert Guerrero was the main event, and I was the fight that was right before the and that was at the Honda Center in Anaheim. You know what I'm saying? And
why is Rice and Coffee getting the shine, but you're not getting the shine, Stephan? What is going on?
Hold on.
Okay. I'm like, what?
Like, bro, it's a lot.
I didn't even see the Rice. Okay.
Hold on. I beat him. I beat Johnny Rice. So boom, they tried to get me to fight. So now the next fight, they sent me talking about Adam Kalnacki. Coach Bashir says, no, Adam Kalnacki was about 16-0, and I was about 8-0 at the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm 8-0, 23 years old. You know what I'm saying? We said, no, right now, not right now. Give us about 3 or more fights. You know what I'm saying? They like, all right, boom. Since you don't, like, I get a call from Sam, me and Sam Watson, we talking, all respect to those guys. I have nothing bad to say about those guys. But he started when we got on the phone, he started alluding to the point and saying, like, you can never be Floyd. You can never be Ali. I'm like, Sam, I'm just trying to be the best that I can be. Like, what you talking about? You know what I'm saying? And I didn't understand why he was telling me these things. You know what I mean? Because that's just, I don't.
Were they mad at you for turning down the Konoski fight?
I don't know. He like, because he ain't no killer. He ain't no killer. You gonna be fighting.
You'll whoop Konoski's ass now. I bet. I'll put money on that.
Give me that fight now. Give me that fight now,
bro.
Give me that fight now.
They won't give you Konoski. They won't give you that fight now. They won't give you that fight because they know you'll whoop his ass.
Coach Bashir said, give him that fight when he 13-0 and Kalnacki about 17-0. Like let it make a little bit more sense. Like let's not, come on now, y'all let the Floyd and Pacquiao fight build until it was motherfucking a $500 million fight instead of $100 million fight. Mm-hmm. So come on now. So let's just keep gradually moving. You know what I'm saying? So boom, they like, all right, we'll send you down there with Deontay. Deontay needs some sparring. You know what I'm saying? They how many young guys jumping out the window trying to spar with Deontay Wilder? They're 24 years old. 8-0. I did.
Not a lot.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, for sure. Go down there with Deontay. I go down there, me and Deontay. I'm giving Deontay good work. I'm down there giving him the best work. You know what I'm saying? They asked the boxing voice, Nesta Gibbs, asked Deontay, who been giving you the best work since down here? Who gave you the best work today? He said, probably the new guy. I'm the new guy. And he like, the Cuban? Mm-hmm. He said, nah. He's like, Shaw. He's like, oh, big shot. He's like, yeah. So boom, we work, we do good, we work. But this is where the blacklisted shit comes in. My dad, he's taking all of this shit that I've been through in. He's taking, my son is now fighting. I'm having to pay this for them, for this, doing all this kind of shit that really managers and promotional teams supposed to do. Like my manager now, he's the reason why I'm in a hotel out here. He's the reason why I'm driving a rental car and stuff out here, because he understands the business. Like, he gonna get that back, like when it's all said and done. Like, but this is how you're supposed to do it. You know, he paying for my flight to get back. You know what I mean? To go out there. You know what I'm saying? Dave McWaters, he's doing it. And I got that close relationship with the CEO of Split T Management. So I'm talking directly to Dave. So boom. You know, and my dad, he's taking all that in, and
so just so I can process this. You're signed with PBC and you're managed by Split T?
No, not right now.
No, this was back when you turned down the Konoski fight.
No, I'm with Split T now. I'm just speaking on what my managerial company does for me now.
Okay. They're taking care of you now. Yeah.
They taking care of me. And, you know, PBC wasn't. You know what I'm saying? They was pretty much making me fend for myself. You know what I'm saying? Without fighting. You know what I'm saying? That's the truth. Like, I ain't creating no lies. Like, I'm finna keep it all the way real, man. Give it all to you. So
by all means.
So boom, dog. My dad, he cusses Sam Watson and Brad out. He leaves a fucked up ass message. Something that I didn't know nothing about. I just gave Deontay the best work, right? I'm going off that. I'm high on that. Oh shit. They talking about me. They got interviews where they saying Shaw giving Deontay the best work. You know what I'm saying? I'm 24. I'm like, let's go. I'm young.
Yeah, I seen that Nestor interview. That's what's up. I rock with Nestor. He's dope.
Like, what? Come on. And then my daddy see all this shit. They interview my daddy. He like, how do you feel about your son giving Deontay great work? What's his name? Big Shot. He was just throwing big shots in that ring. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish I could show y'all, like, it's pay-per-view worthy work. Boom. They think I gave him so much good work. This when Wilder was getting ready for Gerald Washington. Gerald Washington wanted me to come out and help him, but I'm like, shit, I'm down there with Wilder. You know what I'm saying? So, boom. My dad does the fucking unthinkable and goes off on these people. Okay. And this is where I fought my dad a little bit, because you can check somebody without getting ignorant. You can check somebody without cussing them out. You can check somebody so humbly to where they like, you know what, you're right. Because your approach is all that matters, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's the approach. It could be the same message, but with a different approach. And the approach is what gets the shit done. Not the standing on truth, because what's true is true, but it's the approach on how you bring the truth. Because if you give a motherfucker the hardcore truth, a cold-hearted truth, they might not accept it, then giving it to them more logical, more thought out. We all know this. That's just, you know, and
it's hard. It's hard sometimes. Sometimes you get upset and you fly off the handle, and then you be mad when you get upset afterwards. I'm always regretting it. Like, man, I could have handled that way better, way better.
And he took it personal. This is son. This is son. He know what I got. He see everything. He see me down there working with Deontay, and Deontay wasn't nothing but a year in his reign of being world champion. Or he was 2 years in being in his reign of being world champion. So boom, dog, boom. They still want me. Deontay them, and JD's, they all still want me to come back. They want me to come back to Tuscaloosa and work with them on our flight, on our way. Because what Deontay does, he spars 1 week, send his sparring partners back home, then come back and spar the next week. You know, flies back out there. So we was in the process of going back home for that week where you off. You know what I'm saying? For that week where we off. Dog, he does all this shit. Give me the phone. I'm like, what's up, Sam, baby? And Sam just yelling, do you know what your father said? Do you know what your father said? You know what he did? I'm like, hold on, what? Slow down. Bro, I'm bawling, crying. I'm like, no, what happened? Dad, what did you do? So So boom, this whole week, Brad called my mom trying to, they want to release me out. They like, we about to release you out your contract. We about to release you. All just because of my dad, you know, he said he called him some BAN, some bitch ass niggas.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh,
what? But hey, look, so boom. So it's Super Bowl weekend, bro. My mom cooked like, you know, it's Super Bowl, like, you know, cooked Super Bowl food, bro. I ate so much shit, bro. I indulged in so much food, bro. By the time I got back out there with Wild, I was about 280 pounds.
woo! That's a lot of mass on you, my guy. That's a lot of mass.
Hey, but guess what? Like we work. I'm for real. I'm about like 270. I'm back about up to that 270. Like just too big where I am. So, you know, I'm kind of exaggerating 280. But at the time I was about 270. You know what I'm saying? 268. You know what I'm saying? So, like, man, it's like, whoo, like for real, bro. When I think about it, man, it's just like, I really that shit really makes me. That's what make me grind. I'm trying to make myself an undeniable talent. So boom. I'm with PBC. Like, all right. They like, we want to get rid of it. They do. They sent. It ain't no amends. I'm calling. I'm crying to Brad. I'm like, Brad, that wasn't me. My dad doesn't even have to be in my corner no more. He don't even have to come around y'all no more. He's like, he don't even have to be involved with this shit. Like, fuck all that shit. Don't get rid of me. I ain't said nothing. I ain't did. That wasn't me.
Yeah.
I ain't want that. Oh man, I did not authorize that. Brad, Sam, like, come on, y'all. But boom, they could get me out of my contract. They send me back down. And then mind you, the reason truly like why I really like indulged and just got so fucking stressed. I got a second son that's about to be born. My wife is pregnant with my youngest. You know what I'm saying? In the midst of all of this, I haven't fought in over a year and a half. I mean, I ain't fought in about 10, 11 months. So boom, they released me out my contract, bro. They send me back down there, though. I go back down there. I really need the money to spoil Wilder. So send me back down there. I'm like, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I never told nobody this on camera like this, but we was in the gym and I almost knocked Deontay out. I hit him with a hook. We was exchanging hooks and I clipped him. You know, this is all after all that. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? It was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Coach Bashir, he down there now though. My dad didn't come with me this time. Hey, Daddy, I ain't rocking with you, bro. Stay at home. Stay in your place.
He was mad. He was mad at Pops.
Mad as fuck. I'm like, stay home. Focus on you. Don't fuck up my shit.
I assume stuff like that happens with every father-son combination in boxing. I'm confident that sometimes you're just gonna butt heads like that, and it's tough, especially when you got two strong-willed people, like whether it be Bill and Devin or it be T.O. Senior and T.O. Junior, Stephan and Pops. Like it's going to happen. There's a lot of it's boxing. There's a lot of emotion in this thing, man.
But they know not to do nothing like that.
Yeah,
T.O. Senior and Bill Haney, shout out to Bill Haney and all them guys, man. I fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't do nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? And their approach would be more business logical. My dad was just going off emotions, man, and he so I go down there with Wilder. Me and Coach Bashir, he's with me this time. And he see that, like him and Malik Scott, they stop, because I was finna try to go back at Deontay after I clipped him. You know what I'm saying? So boom, we end up working. You know, this was kind of like this a week before his fight.
Now, did Deontay win the sparring sessions? Did he ever get a chance to clip you?
Nah, he never clipped me.
Nah, you can see that right hand coming from a mile away. That loaded up right.
I done took it straight on. And got hit. Like I seen him clip. He didn't clip Junior 5. He didn't clip he clipped Robert Helenius in his last camp. Robert Helenius was down there with us for this Fury camp.
So y'all just down there a bunch of giants slugging it at each other, huh?
Oh man, you know, Malik Scott actually used to spar Deontay.
Oh yeah. And he got knocked out in the fight.
That's his boy. You know what I'm saying? When you go back and look at that fight, it looked like, did he truly get knocked out? But
we've all looked at that footage, and everyone who's seen that footage and dissected it can tell, like, this what? I'm not saying nothing. I'm just saying it's easy if you want to look at it from a certain angle to be like, that's major suspect. But hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And for them to have that relationship that they have now.
Mm-hmm. It's fascinating. Like, the wonderful world of boxing. I don't know. Goodness. So you were sparring, you were down there in camp with Deontay.
And they've been bringing me back ever since then. They've been bringing me back ever since then. I told them the situation of everything that happened. You know, all of those guys, they like.
And you were a free agent at this time because you were let go from PBC, correct?
That's how I got with Split T Management and Dave McWaters. He hit me up. See, Chris Byrd, he's cool with Chris Byrd. My first camp with Bashir, we used to be training at the boxing club in La Jolla.
Mm-hmm.
We used to be training at the TBC, at the boxing club in La Jolla. And Chris Byrd brought us Australian heavyweight that Dave McWaters was managing at the time. I ended up clipping him in camp. I mean, I ended up knocking him out.
Was that where Jamel Herring was training at up there in La Jolla? I think he was training in San Diego, no? Oh, okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I know when Coach Bashir, when he first started training here in San Diego, he was at the boxing club in La Jolla before he came to the arena.
Okay.
Yeah, me, Rock, Steve Nelson, we were all at the boxing club, and Joe Perez, we were all at the boxing club. Then we made that switch to the arena.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I sparred a guy now by the name of Trent Rawlings, and I clipped him. And I told Chris Byrd, who my granddaddy was, he was like, "Oh man," and then long story short, they have some fights in St. Louis, and Trent Rawlings is on the card, and Chris Byrd is there, and Dave McWaters is there, and Chris Byrd goes up to, my grandfather comes behind Chris Byrd. He taps Chris Byrd on the shoulder, and he said, "You remember me?" He said, "I know you. I remember you. You coach Buddy Shaw."
Nice.
And your grandson is Steph. He said, "And your grandson is Stephan Shaw. He sparred my heavyweight. He's amazing." Chris Byrd told me, "Man, you could beat all these dudes right now." This is 2015. You know what I'm saying? This is former heavyweight competitor Chris Byrd, right? Former two-time heavyweight champion Chris Byrd.
The one that beat David Tua.
Yeah. WBO and IBF, and he stopped. Well, he stopped because he hurt his rotator cuff. He tore his rotator cuff in the ninth round of the fight. But
very, very technical fighter. I remember Chris
Klitschko.
Byrd.
He stopped Vitaly Klitschko. He was
disciplined, very good jab.
Chris
jab.
Chris Byrd and Lennox Lewis are the only two people to beat Vitaly Klitschko.
Yeah, I remember Chris Byrd. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, he like, "Man, I was doing this. I was doing what you doing at 6 foot and 220 pounds." He said, "How much you weigh?" At the time, again, this was after being with Cunningham, and I was stressed out and shit. I was fat motherfucker. I've always been a big kid. You know what I'm saying? I've always been a big kid, but okay, I'm a little fat. Why can't y'all bear with me like y'all did with Andy Ruiz? Andy Ruiz was 268 pounds in the first fight with Josh. He boomed all the way up to 283 pounds. oh, you too fat. But when he fight Chris Arreola, he only comes in the fight at 258, and the fucking world is going crazy. He truly only lost 10 pounds from the first fight with Joshua. He only lost 10 pounds. That ain't shit.
Mm-hmm.
But
mm-hmm.
like, why can't it be the same with me? You know what I mean? Like, black fighters have a heart in boxing. I'm gonna keep it real. But you know, as great as Floyd Mayweather is and was, like, you know, you got people that still hate him. Like, how can you hate that man? He beat everybody and was fighting world champion after world champion after world champion, and qualified pound for pound, top 10 pound for pound fighters. He was.
You know how often I got to defend Floyd Mayweather? It's like nonstop having to defend Floyd Mayweather.
The only guy like when Floyd was Money Mayweather, the only guy that wasn't like a pound for pound like fighter that people didn't consider a pound for pound fighter probably was Andre Byrd. Like, and that's because that was his last fight. He felt like he didn't have no more obligations. Like he's like, I'm only fighting Kareem Mayfield or Andre Byrd. Like, I fought Canelo, Pacquiao, McDonald's, like, right? Like, then De La Hoya, Zab Judah, everybody. Like, Shane Mosley. Floyd was knocking off everybody. He was knocking off guys. He was knocking off guys that was knocking off other guys that was being considered to be world champion. You know what I'm saying? So boom. So boom.
So you feel like it was a double standard regarding your weight because of, unfortunately, the race issue in boxing, whereas they let Andy Ruiz slide with it. That is so upsetting, man. Like, well, the good part is
he was 258 pounds in his last fight against Chris Arreola, right? 258 pounds. I was 258 pounds, 257 when I was fighting Jonathan Rice. And they were still looking at me like, man, you got to get your weight down. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm 230. You know what I'm saying? And only getting better and better and better and better and better. And so we I get with Split T Management, have my first fight and all this and that, and then, you know, I was so stressed out, bro. I didn't even know if I wanted to continue boxing. For real. I didn't even know if I wanted to continue to live at that time.
Rough. Well, we're glad you are here still with us, Stephan, and you're a family man, and that route is not an option for you, Stephan. That route is not an option. You got some belts. You got some belts to collect. You got some straps to collect. You got some straps to collect.
I had to get down on my hands and knees and give it to. I had to get down on my hands and knees at that time and give it to God. And all through that time, like, bro, like I was eating fucking weed, brownies, and edibles and shit, edible gummies and all that shit, just fucking off. You know what I'm saying? And I fight a guy by the name of Joel Cordell with my first fight with I was like 292 pounds, bro, when I started my camp for that fight. I was 292 pounds. Then I got all the way down to 261. And then I fight, you know, that was probably my worst fight for real. But I dominated him. You know, I even dropped him in the last round, but they didn't call it. But because I hit him, boom, boom, and he stepped. And it was like a delayed reaction and he fell. You know what I'm saying? And I test positive for having THC in my system. You know what I'm saying? And,
are they holding that again? Are they holding that against you?
Oh man, I was out for another 6 months. I was out. Now I'm dealing with all that. Here I go, and then I go have a 6-month suspension. So
for THC,
for THC, bro, 6-month suspension. Like it's a fucking. But when Big Baby, come on, Jarrell Miller got like multiple hot piss tests.
Hold on, and he
only got a 6-month ban. He only got 3 dirty drug tests, for steroids, for performance enhancers, and he only got a 6-month suspension. And I got a 6-month suspension for indulging in some shit that could not benefit me. Like,
I'm gonna tell you on a personal note.
Now the NBA and the NFL, in the Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, I don't even test for that no more.
See, on a personal note, I'll forgive a fighter for one piss test. One. Jarrell Miller, man, I can't let that go. Because not only did
that's a different type of piss.
His piss was radioactive, my God. Like, his piss was major hot. That last one was like
Real
3 different
talk.
substances, bro. Like, he was like,
HGH, anabolic steroids, and like EPO.
Bro, that's ridiculousness. That's unbelievable.
What the fuck? Like,
he trying to kill somebody.
That's like lifetime ban shit, shouldn't it?
Yeah, it should be. It's weird because I see him online. He's trying to make a comeback. I see Shakur Stevenson backing him up because that's his homie. And I'm just like, yo, I can't even rock with you. Like, we got to draw the line somewhere in boxing because the boxing's like the wild, wild west. We'll let a lot of shit slide, but we can't let that slide with Big Baby. Sorry, Jarrell Miller. Yeah, there's some hungry lines behind you that
like,
need
bro,
that spot.
all this steroid shit. Look how they did. Look at the Oscar Valdez shit.
I know.
They let him have a whole excuse, and he still fought for the title.
Yeah.
I mean, still defended his title and was able to keep his title. Canelo, I heard that the WBC allows a certain amount of clenbuterol now to be in a fighter's system.
Yeah,
it has to be under a certain amount of level.
Yeah, depending on the country that they're from. If they are from a country that has reputation for having tainted meat supply lines, so like China, certain countries in South America, Mexico, which almost kind of gives it a pass to a certain degree. It's like, but that's beyond my pay rate.
But Canelo, look, that's eating the local poor farmers beef. Canelo can afford Kobe beef. Mm-hmm. Canelo can afford Wagyu beef.
Mm-hmm. See, you can speak on it. If I speak on it as a content creator, I get blacklisted from Top Rank and WBC.
Yeah, bro, you will.
I'm gonna just shut my quiet content creator ass up before I, because they
won't even let you in the room to be no. You got a dick ride, man. Look at her. It's not so much making it.
It's not so much dick ride. I just got to keep my mouth shut and look the other way. Like, I can't. I'm not. The WBC is power beyond me, and you can just knock fools out. It doesn't matter as long as you keep knocking people out and winning.
But I still got to worry. But I gotta fight. I gotta fight on an even playing field with motherfuckers. I ain't no mother. Look at this. All right, we gonna keep. All right, I'm finna keep it all the way real.
Here we go,
bruh. You remember Balco?
Oh yeah, I remember Balco. Victor Conte is running snack right now, and he got all them dudes like. And we're supposed to be convinced that Victor Conte is not a crook? Bro, why does he always... Here's the thing. Whenever a fighter hits dirty or pisses hot, why does ESPN and all those big companies go straight to Victor Conte like he's some kind of authority on honesty when he's pretty much wrote the book on how to inject steroids into fighters? I don't know.
Hey,
it's beyond me,
I ain't on none of that. Snacking all, they ain't came at me. I ain't on none of, like, where can I get that shit? I'm looking for that. Like, where my snack at? How do you get with that shit? How do you even become a snack fighter? How do they pick and choose?
Hey, ask Mikey Garcia in your boy Caleb Plant. Ask White Chocolate. See how did he get
Devin Haney? All of them. It's a whole bunch of them that's fucking with snack now.
I couldn't imagine, like, as a fighter or as anybody trying to do reputable business, why you would even want to be publicly aligned with Victor Conte. But that's beyond my pay rate. I don't know. I'm just a dude looking it online like, what the hell is going on? But Victor Conte, the man got federally indicted. Like Barry Bonds, Evander Holyfield, Sugar Shane Mosley. Yes, they were all involved in it. It's like, but yeah, trust me, I'm already knowing about Victor Conte. I did a little TikTok video on him just to make sure everybody knows. Like, when you see this dude speaking like he's the authority on Oscar Valdez's phentermine thing, just know that Victor Conte is a straight crook that wrote the whole book. He wrote the book.
They
He published it.
Put me on a 6 month suspension. I fought in
marijuana.
February of 2018. I didn't fight again till October 29th of 2018. First round knockout. Then come 2019, I fight a guy by the name of Donovan Dennis. I knock him out in 3 rounds. Then I fight a guy by the name of Willie Jake. I knock him out in the 4th round. And then I fight a guy by the name of Gregory Corbin. Gregory Corbin had just fought on that Earl Spence and Mikey Garcia undercard with Charles Martin.
I seen that.
That was his first loss. Charles Martin didn't knock him out or anything. He fights Philip Hegovich. Hegovich takes him out in 1 round, but he gets up. He gets up, complaining about the back of his. He kind of got up and started pointing to his back of his head. Referee stopped the fight. When I fight him, I drop him. Bro, they don't even have, like, they had that fight on Daily Motion. Like, they had the highlights on YouTube. They had the highlights actually on YouTube of that fight. Somehow,
how come I can't find footage of you in that Corbin fight? Sorry. Is that what you're about to talk about? How come I can't find that footage? I can find the Corbin, that other fight you mentioned with Martin.
I knocked him out. I knocked him out in 3 rounds. Like, the first round, I hit him with a right hand. Boom, and rolled off. Like, he tried to throw a hook. And I rolled up under and just turned around, bro. Like, it was so fucking pretty. Clarissa Shields, I was getting my hands wrapped. Clarissa Shields came up there. My dad, like, look who want to come see you. Clarissa Shields, she like, what's up, Big Steph? Like, want to take a picture with me? Mark Breland, he up there. He come, want to see me. He come to the fight.
Do you have that footage, by the way, of the Corbin fight?
No, I don't.
Stephan.
No, I don't. Like, where can I get it?
I wish I could get that footage, man. I wish I could get that, because I was
saying?
trying to find it. I saw that name Corbin and I remembered the Martin fight. And then I was like trying to look around, like, why could I not find footage of this fight?
And I knocked him out in 3 rounds. So the whole 2019, 2019, I'll knock out and ESPN.com. What's my man, Dan Raphael? He mentioned me as one of the top 25 prospects in boxing coming out of 2019.
You know, speaking of Dan Raphael mentioning you, every time I hear them mention, Jared Anderson or Michael Hunter, I keep waiting for them to say, and Stephan Jabbar Shaw. I'm like, what's really going on in this game? Like, because there's only a handful of elite USA heavyweights, and you're easily amongst that list. So I just keep waiting for, like, okay, at some point or another, because I see brief mentions here and I'm waiting for them to say it.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like, during the pandemic, Jared Anderson fought 7 times. During the fucking pandemic, during 2020, the year, like, bro, you, like, the only people that was able to fight was those promoters that had set fucking networks and shit and got a certain bubble that they created. Al Heyman them had their bubble up there in Connecticut, up there in Uncasville. At Uncasville, up there at the Mohegan Sun.
Well, are you not aligned with Top Rank now? You're down with Top Rank now, correct?
Now I'm with Top Rank. Now the contract, but to be honest, I still ain't got the contract. But my manager got the contract, and there's some little things in there that, but like, I still haven't signed it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just. They're gonna regret it if another company picks you up, but I hope Top Rank signs you to something major, because I hope they do too. Like, what they trying to do is a 2-year deal. This fight, I'm fighting some guy by the name of Don Hainsworth. He's like, it's like 16-8, like 13, 14 knockouts. You know what I'm saying?
This is your next opponent.
My next opponent.
Don Hainsworth. Okay, so we got a name. Okay.
Don Hainsworth. And supposed to be fighting a guy, Guido Vianello. And then, shit, depends on how I look against Guido. That's when they probably going to try to put me in there with Jared Anderson. You know what I'm saying? Or if I knock Guido out, they going to want to build that fight. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying?
So let's say you had, like, the Infinity Gauntlet, right? You had all the juice in the world. Give me like a 4-fight wish list to get to the crown. What would your 4 fights be to boom, 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 get you straight to that contention shot? Call out time.
Adam Kalnacki, whoever for real, Guido Villanello, Jared Anderson, Dylan White, Robert Helenius, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz. It's so many names I can say, bro. Like
any
whoever,
of them.
That's where I'm at. Any of
Nice.
them. Like I'm just like they just got like I just gotta stay consistent and keep like fighting. Of course, like all this inactivity, like that's not doing me no good.
Mm-hmm.
Where the fights at that just keeping me busy, and I never been gradually moved into a position of any. Soon as I'm 3-0 with 3 knockouts, I have a great 2019. Consistency. The fucking pandemic happens.
Ruined everything.
Coronavirus.
It ruined everything.
Slowed down everything I had going. But I already had been through like shit stumbling blocks. So with that, I said, oh, hold up. I'm about to go harder than ever. Because look, like the fucking world shutting down and like, bro, so I just grind. And then that's when I fought Pinchup. I came into that fight 235 pounds. Motherfuckers thought probably Pinchup, they thought he was gonna be able to get me because they thinking I'm gonna be 250. No, I came here 235, finna destroy you. You know what I'm saying? They lucky they ain't give me my gloves. And then Al Gomez is my hand wrap specialist, and he wrapped my hands to how I need them to be wrapped so I won't hurt my hands. I didn't even have my own cut man. I had to use an on-site cut man and hand wrap specialist. Mike Rodriguez, like a PBC cut man. You know what I'm saying? For those fights that they had on Ring City, USA, he wrapped my hands. And he didn't even put a great enough gauze on her on my right hand because we was trying to fit. We was trying to not make the padding so big. So now I ain't got that much padding because I'm trying to fit my hands in a size in a regular 10-ounce gloves. But as a heavyweight, I need 10-ounce extra large gloves.
Mm-hmm.
They make regular 10 ounces, and those are for like 154 all the way, 154, 160, 175. But if you got big hands, they make 10-ounce extra large. I needed some extra large gloves. And the glove that I wanted, they didn't even have them for me. Bullshit. It was a whole bunch of bullshit right there. Like, bro, like they took that was supposed to be a TV fight too. That was supposed to be a TV fight with me and Pinchup. They took it off TV and put it on Twitch, online streaming app. Streaming shit, Twitch. And that would have been a great look, beating that boy Pinchup. Pinchup just fought a motherfucker on ESPN. That wasn't shit.
Why seen that last night?
Why our fight couldn't been on like, come on, man. Like,
yo, Pinchup look at yo, they made Pinchup.
I asked my manager for fights. I said, give me Otto Valin. Give me Otto Valin. Give me Dominic Brazil. They like, oh, Al wouldn't give you Dominic Brazil. You know what I'm saying? I asked to fight motherfuckers like Jeremiah Karpanski. He was like 16-2. They ain't let me fight him, but they let Jared Anderson fight him.
What is that? Is that the PBC protection plan right there? Is that
I don't know. I don't know what this is, bro. I feel blacklisted. I feel blackballed, bro. I feel like it's a my name. It looks like, man.
It seems like you going through every single possible hurdle, and it's character
I'm still
building.
here.
You know what I mean? You're still there. So you got the vision set in your head. So can we look forward to at least 2 to 3 fights, hopefully going into 2022, if not more? Because you said you got one coming up.
I'm ready.
Nice. I hope you get them fights because I believe you to be ready.
But my manager, he said it's gonna probably be a fight like this fight, Guido Villanello, then probably like a step up fight like Carlos Takam, world championship contender like that. You know what I'm saying? And then
you just need that one. You need that one scalp, Stephan, that one scalp to get America's eyes on you. And I keep waiting for it to happen. Like, watch this, because once everyone's eyes get on you, they're going to be like, oh, Michael Hunter, Jared Anderson, and Stephan Jabari Shaw. Like,
they don't even. And it should be the other way around. It should be Michael Hunter, Stephan Shaw, and then Jared Anderson, because he's under us.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Give me what the fuck was that undefeated dude that he fought on that card? When on that pay-per-view card. Why I can't get them kind of fights?
Wouldn't that have to deal with your matchmaker and your manager to like figure it out? Like, isn't that on their end? Because shouldn't your job just be to focus on being the best version of you fighting, and they should be handling all that phone call trafficking? And yeah, it's like you shouldn't even have to be thinking about. They should just be lining them up for you to knock down, right?
And every time they give me, it's always like, they always gotta fight somebody undefeated. I gotta fight. It's like they don't want me to display my skills. It's like make and break fights.
Mm-hmm. Well, you went on a good run with Corbin and then Pinchuk, and then Nick Davis was the 6-2-2, and then they got to get you some tough guys in there, man, because you just gonna mow these dudes down if they want to stick dudes in there to mow them down, I guess, to keep you busy. But
they do that to everybody else. They do that to everybody else. Everybody else is not fighting future world champion after future world champion after future world champion.
Mm-hmm.
Are they?
Mm-hmm. No. But we ready to see you in some matches, and I do believe your time will come soon. You're marketable, Stephan. You're ready to go. Like you're the finished product.
Bro,
man.
I got charisma. I know how to talk. I am not no dummy, bro. I went to college and everything, bro. I know how to articulate myself very well.
I know it's only a matter of time.
Smile. Like, I have my children. I have a beautiful wife. I have the historical pedigree and background. That's why they don't want to fuck with me, though. That's why they ain't jumping out the window to fight me. It's so many other guys besides. It's so many, like we was trying to fight Michael Pilat Coffey. They say he turned me down. Cassius Chaney, they say he turned me down. George Arias, they said he turned me down. They said Zhang Zili turned me down. All this and that. Like, okay, well, let's just keep having fights where we get the public familiar with you. And then those high demand fights we can make, and they can give you money. We can make money. Because that's what it's about. Don't make a Jared Anderson fight when it's only $100K or 75K. When that fight could be 750 to $1 million. That fight should be shelved for some time. Let you guys marinate on that, because I think that could be a potentially big fight. A big fight. A big fight. Yeah. A pay-per-view title shit. Real shit. So. Or eliminator at least. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't understand the business of boxing. That's a fight that's, like I say, $1,750,000 at least. With his potential and mine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the entertainment and value alone would be worth it. It would be worth it. So we got your fight on the 29th coming up on the Constantine Martinez undercard against, what was the opponent's name one more time?
A brother by the name of Don Hainsworth.
Nice.
Don Hainsworth. Nice.
Do you plan to make another prediction on that one for the knockout, or are you just going to go in there?
I'm putting him to sleep.
That's the spirit.
I'm putting him to sleep. He ain't never seen nobody like me. You know what I'm saying? He ain't never seen nobody like me. And with me saying that, bro, I'm not going out there like you be seeing me in the gym, Jay. You know I'm surgical with this shit for real.
You are surgical. I seen that in the Davis knocking in that little clip you sent me. It was patient. You weren't headhunting. That's the key to it. You can't headhunt. You got to let it happen organically. And clearly these knockouts are happening left and right with just the fluid movement of the punches. It's just coming to you. And that's how you want it to come. You don't want to look for it.
You don't want to force it. And that's what I
Yeah.
told Deontay in that fight with Fury. I told him in that third, I said, bro, don't go out there throwing nothing hard. Like, you can throw your jab hard. Like what I mean by like throwing, like let a motherfucker fall asleep on you. You lull them to sleep. Like you can touch them with a hard good jab to like to fucking break their nose or get them apprehended to your shit. But like jab, hook off of it. He know the right hand coming, so give him something different. And he was kind of doing it. He was throwing the right hand to the body. But while the fundamentals, man, like how dare you shut me down? How dare y'all shut talent down and make something out of that's just knocking the motherfucker out? And then, you know, and he looked good on the pads and shit against look good on the pads and shit with Malik Scott, and now it's he's making improvements. Like, y'all let all these other motherfuckers that's been doing all this shit improve instead of letting somebody that's just getting in this shit really improve. Y'all trying to make me. I'm not Lemchenko. I ain't won multiple Olympics. Wilder was a bronze medalist, and he didn't fight for his first world title. He was 32-0. Nowadays, a motherfucker being an Olympian, they throwing him in a world title shot when he's 17, 15,
Yeah, they are. They fast-tracked him when they have that Olympic pedigree. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. I didn't
fight no Olympics.
Deontay Wilder, he had a good game plan in that first round of that third fight. He was sticking the jab to the stomach, and then he just threw it all out the window. Like,
I think he was doing it too hard. He was trying to throw those shots to the body and stuff too hard.
Yeah, that explosion takes energy to explode like that. And he was just driving it in the stomach, and I was like, is he tired? Oh, he getting tired. And then it turned into just this crazy slugfest where they were like wrestling.
But and that's the like Wilder is all heart and strength, man. Wilder, he ain't no punk. He ain't no punk. He not the most technical. And we know he gonna crack you if he hit you good with that right hand. And like I said, I done got hit with that motherfucker and looked up and seen the motherfucking the roof of the motherfucker, but came right back. I'm right back. I ain't. No, I done seen him do other cats like that, and I had to come out the ring. Let me hop in there. Real shit. Real talk.
So it was you when you were sparring out there in camp with Deontay Wilder. It was you, Hellenius, Junior Fa, all there just going at it.
Well, no, Junior Fa was a part of the first Fury fight.
Okay.
The shot that he knocked, that he dropped Fury with in that third round. I mean, in that last round of the first fight, in that 1-2 hook.
Yeah,
he hit Junior Fa. He hit Junior Fa with that same shot, and Junior Fa leg locked on him. Like I like Junior. Like, I'll fight Junior. Like, fucker like that. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker leg locked on him, and like, I'm like, oh, come out, Junior.
Your turn.
Robert Hellenius, he hit Robert Hellenius with like a right hand. That motherfucker kind of like grazed him, and he kind of like started like trying to hopping on one leg, like oh shit, hop out, Robert. Let me hop in there.
That's that freak show power that Wilder had. He knocked out Stephan through the gloves.
Yeah, because he punched. Stephan punched Stephan right through the gloves. That's what I'm saying. Where fights like that for me? Stephan, you know what I'm saying? Them formal,
we want those fights for you. If I had the power, Stephan, I'd line them up like, yo, watch my boy do this. I would line them up. Unfortunately, I'm just a gym rat that makes content online. So all I could do is give you my platform so that people can hear your voice. That's as much as I can contribute to the cause.
You too for giving me
but
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I know I've been all over the place, man, but I have my story, my life, my boxing career has been all over the place.
This is amazing stuff.
I tried to get my foundation correct. I married my wife young. I had kids early, and I've been committed to that. You know what I'm saying? In boxing, like I'm have all my ducks in a row. I'm just trying to fight consistently and make some money, like for real. Like that's where I'm at now. I need to really start making money so I can live. I'm tired of living in an apartment and paying a note for my mother's car that she let me drive.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Like I need substantial living circumstances. Like my manager, he just had to pay my fucking rent. Like
I think it'll happen.
I'm a realist. I ain't one of these flashy ass new age fighters because when they fight one of them motherfuckers from another country, they don't give a fuck about none of that flashy shit, and you gotta beat them with your real motherfucking skills and heart and will. That's what I'm about. Period. Real motherfucking survival shit.
All right, I got some boxing nerd questions for you, my man.
Talk to me,
because
bro.
I know the nerds love these questions. Okay,
talk to me.
So I do know that as a heavyweight, you camped and you sparred with people the likes of Andy Ruiz Jr., the Cuban Flash, Stipe Miocic, Deontay Wilder in several camps. Out of all the heavyweights you sparred with, who gave you the best work and who had just that thump in the pop?
Man, I have to say that Wilder, of course, he's the strongest, but Andy could pop. Andy, all of those guys that we named can pop. I sparred the Olympian Richard Torres. I clipped him, had him out on his feet, and you know what I'm saying? And he gave me great work. Shit, the first time we worked, he put that, because I've been used to fighting at a slower slow pro pace, and he came with an amateur pace that I wasn't really. I'm like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying?
When were you sparring Richard Torres? I didn't know about this.
When I was getting ready for pinch-up, all I could get was like southpaw work. I couldn't find no orthodox work, so I had to spar Richard Torres and the guy Ronnie Hines and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
And I gotta spar. Look at all these motherfuckers I gotta spar. Do you hear all that? Wilder, Ruiz, Frank Sanchez. Me and Frank Sanchez, we sparred 6 rounds the first day we worked. Then we sparred 8 rounds. Like Canelo gave me my shit. Canelo, he's good. In the middle of us working, he's good.
Nice. You got the vouch from Canelo.
How old is he? How old is he? I'm 27. You know what I'm saying at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's good. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
They was like, how many rounds y'all want to go? Like after like round, like it was like round 5. And then they was Eddie Reynoso, they like my coach Bashir was like, we want to get 8. We want to get 8. And Canelo was like, yes, he needs this. He was saying Frank Sanchez, he was like, Frank Sanchez needs this.
Nice.
So we end up working 14 rounds. Like, chop Frank Sanchez's ass up too.
Are you gonna get some work in with Frank before your fight?
We tried. We hit up. We hit him up. You know what I'm saying? We hit up. I'm out here in San Diego. They out here in San Diego. We hit them up. I think he just fought or whatever. They said he was just finna fight and he ain't finna spar. He gonna be going back home to Cuba. You know what I'm saying? All this and that. I hear all them excuses. Andy Ruiz, I ain't worked with him since. They said they was gonna need me for the next fight after Chris Arreola. We ain't heard. They kicked me out of camp for that second Joshua fight.
Mm-hmm.
And Andy was the first pro I ever sparred. You know what I'm saying? When I had just won the USA Nationals, I came out to Vegas and sparred him in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? And they stopped the sparring session because I cut him. And he had a fight coming up at the time and they didn't want the cut to get worse. So yeah, they stopped that sparring session. And his daddy and them, they sent me home after 2 weeks. I was supposed to be out there 30 weeks. And the last day is I was supposed to spar him on a Friday. Manny Robles, like, as soon as me and my dad came in, they said, you guys didn't hear? Andy called gout in his foot.
Not gout, no.
Hold on, look. Did y'all hear any rumors coming out the camp after the fight to where, like, Andy, like, oh, I caught gout in my foot and I couldn't train anymore. That's why I gained weight. Did they use that as any other excuse after that fight? This is the first time you're hearing about him catching gout. I
never heard that before. Nah.
This is what they telling me, dog. As soon as I arrived to the camp, as soon as I arrived to the gym on the Friday, because we work Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You know what I'm saying? It's a Friday. They say Andy caught gout in his foot, right? His daddy come in. Andy Sr. comes in. This is his last day. Me and my daddy working on the pads. We in the ring. Andy Sr. come in. This is his last day. They got me the money and everything. They was paying good, $2,500, giving me $400 for meals. You know what I'm saying? It was cool. Andy, I fuck with Andy. I fuck with Andy. Andy a Virgo G, just like me. One time he told me to hop in his Wraith. Told me to hop in. He said, hop in, fool. You know what I'm saying? You know, he took me back to the hotel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, okay, show me what it is to ride in a Rolls Royce coupe, a two-door Rolls Royce. They're called a Wraith with the stars in the roof, all white,
nice.
With white Forgiato rims. You know what I'm saying? And that's what and the type of time he was on. So, and then when I was sparring Frank and I came in the gym, what's up, bro? Like, it was all love. You know what I'm saying? Because I earned his respect by giving that work.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So boom. His dad tells us this is the last day. But he has his other sparring partner there, Rafael Zambano Love. Zambano Love is like 36-13. He can't even, I don't even think he can get a fight over here in America because he's lost like 9 consecutive fights, like by knockout, I believe. So I don't think like any state athletic commission will fight him. You probably have to go to TJ to fight him. You know what I'm saying? So Rafael Zambano Love, he's the other sparring partner. You know what I'm saying? And he just had came in. So they like, he like, this your last day. So we go through our whole workout routine. Now, me, Zambano Love, and the assistant, it was an old man. It was their assistant. Like, he was like in the corner getting them water and all that shit. We all stand at the same Airbnb. We all ride to the gym together and from the gym together. So we all get done doing our work. The Mexican assistant get a phone call, tells us to stop the car right before we pull off the lot. He tells Zambano Love something in Spanish. Zambano Love grabs his bag. They tell us, we'll see you at the house. So me and my daddy, we go to the house. But why the sparring partner stay up there and took his bag? I think he was finna spar him, and they just didn't want to spar me no more. You really think about what I just said,
I've heard this happen with many professional fighters is that they want work, but sometimes they don't want that work. like I've had homies, you know, they got kicked out of camps or kicked out of sparring sessions with, you know, Ryan Garcia and Lomachenko and then things happen. Like I don't know if they want you to sit there prone and just be a punching bag or something. I don't know, but I would think in my head,
and the dude Rafael Zambano Love, he was definitely a punching bag. And I was giving Andy angles and moving and boxing like what he should have kept in his camp, because what did Joshua do in the second fight?
All that technical movement stuff, for sure. I would think, you know, and this is an idealization in my head. If you want to compete at the upper levels and be a pro, you're going to want to spar with the best savages you can get in the ring with you, because you might as well practice where your record's not on the line. And if you get cracked, you get cracked. But at least you in there with some top tier guys. But evidently some pros.
And that's all I've been doing, bro. That's all I've been doing. And I ain't got cracked. I ain't been dropped. I ain't been wobbled, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Giving these boys that great work. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't being overly braggadocious or anything. I'm just telling the honest to God truth. You know what I'm saying? So it's
The
just,
time will come.
you know, I love it. I love this sport just like I did when I was a little kid. You know what I'm saying? My hunger is probably even more now because I have children of my own and responsibilities in that. So I'm ready to put all these motherfuckers to sleep so my kids can eat. Because my kids been starving for real, compared to what I should be making and what I should be doing. Like, they ain't miss no meals and nothing, literally. But what I'm saying is that Stephan Big Shot Shaw's supposed to be on a different and a higher plateau than I am right now. Period.
I believe it. I believe the time will come. I believe your time will come, Stephan.
I believe it will too.
I've watched it over the years, and I've seen you evolve. I've seen you add new tools to your bag every single time you step in that ring, and your time is coming soon. Your time is coming soon.
And I appreciate that, Jay. You know what I'm saying? Like, most people don't really see that. You know what I'm saying? Most people don't really understand. And you've been in this sport and you've been learning this sport. You've been learning on a high level. You've been learning what the pros is about. And to see me and to hear all of these stories that you've heard, like, man, you gotta salute a motherfucker like me. They ain't gave me nothing. They ain't gave me a damn thing. They haven't crowned me no future next nothing. When in reality, I am. I've been supposed to, man, what?
I already know. They just making the line hungrier and angrier. That's all they doing. They just making it more and more angry. And if they're going to, don't hit that bear on the nose when it's sleeping and watch what happens. And it's going to happen. You're putting too many years on this. You got too much lineage.
Talk, Jay.
The foundation is too solid. There's a lot of people think they're going to get in this boxing game building foundations on sand. Yours has been laid in concrete, multiple floors of that. So just give it that time. It'll happen. I think it'll happen. Bro,
I pray to God, and I have a strong conviction with God, man. And my mom, my dad, like, they always remind me, keep God first, bro. And I give God all the praise, because as soon as I always say it's bigger than me, like
that's the key. That's the key, Stephan.
God, my godly spirit is what's keeping me, bro. The true human me would have been given up. Any regular human with no strong conviction in a higher power or understanding any of that wouldn't understand the shit that I've been through. Wouldn't be want to keep dealing with. They wouldn't. They would have been like,
if your cause is not bigger,
and then
than
I still gotta fight.
Yeah. Your cause got to be bigger than you. I said, in order to get to that high level, your cause has to be bigger than you. It can't just be you. You have to have a higher power behind you. I firmly believe in that.
Man, that's so real, family, Jay. That's so
God. Like, it got to be bigger than you. You're not going to do it on your own, or you will collapse.
Yes, and that's why I say, like they interviewed me after the Willie Jake fight, and they said, "Do you feel like you're now on that track to become?" I'm definitely on that track. And I was like, I want to thank my manager, my mom, my wife, my children, my sister. I do this for them, man. This my wife and my children, my family and my mother and my father. This is who I do it for. It's bigger than me. And the crowd, they loved it. They loved it. But like, what I understand with the masses and with the media content and stuff has been controlled. Even with us, anybody can be a content creator. But it still has been monetized now. You can't even go viral like that without the masses approving it and making it viral. True. You get what I'm saying?
True.
You could probably, you can go viral if somebody stamp you, like somebody that's, again, that's like higher up, like a motherfucker that's already got a following. And then look at this shit with the Jake Paul shit. Look how they easily can come into boxing, and true, real motherfucking blood fighters like me can't even make 30K in a fight. I ain't even made $30,000 in a fight yet. I ain't even made $20,000.
Yeah, the Jake Paul is interesting. The Jake Paul thing is, even as a content creator on my end, is fascinating because I could run narratives. That'd be the quickest way to gain a following. Spin narratives, sell hate, but integrity means a lot to me. And my channel isn't blowing up as fast as I think because I put out more than 1,000 videos. I feel like I should have a bigger following, but my following is legit. My DMs are filled with real industry people, real coaches, real fighters, and they reach out to me. They're like, "Yo, I love what you do." Da 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 da. And I'm like, "Yo,
have it been some big people hit you up?"
So far, it's just just Coach Capobianco, Joe Smith Jr., one of the people from Top Rank, and Oscar Valdez, oddly enough, Alicia Baumgartner. Who else? So I'm trying to get interviews with all these people, but first things first, if I got a platform, I'm going to put my people on first. Obviously, my people on first. Stephan Jabari Shaw, Team Arena all day, So it's what I want is integrity, and there isn't a lot of integrity in the content creator space. Like a lot of these dudes will sell their mother under the bus just to get a following, and it's crazy. I don't care. I've seen white content creators, black creators, brown creators, and they all selling pure fuckery. And I'm like, yo, man, do you guys like not respect the sport of boxing? What are y'all doing? Man. And I'm in a unique position where I can try to bring credibility into this space. And I don't want fighters to look at me and be worried, oh, he's going to spin my shit and make it sound stupid, because fighters want to talk to us, but they only want to talk to the ones they know they can trust because they're scared of having their message and having their story warped, to fit somebody else's narrative, and it's important for me that fighters, when they see me making my content, they, Jeff is legit. He's going to tell your story. He's going to ask you the uncomfortable questions, but at the very least, Jeff isn't going to try to crap on nobody at the expense of trying to gain clout, because it's not that serious for me. And
that's what it's about. You supposed to ask the real questions and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's too much fake shit going on in life.
Yes, sir.
There's too much fake shit going on. Like the true essence of what life was meant, or what we thought it was. Because I'm on that, I'm a early 90s baby. You know what I'm saying? 92. So I'm in that realm to where I remember the world without no internet. I remember the world with VHS tapes. And I remember the world where you have to look on TV and truly see the celebrities. I remember dial up. And I remember the first fucking Windows software. Like, you know what I'm saying? I remember the first email was AOL. You've got mail. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and that gives you a perspective. This new generation, they don't have that perspective. They can't mentally comprehend that world. Like, it's so fascinating, and they don't have the social skills. There's so many things they're missing.
I remember my dad having cassette tapes and popping them on A side and B side, and you know what I mean. I remember albums. My dad used to be getting not demos, but like used to have like a certain album with only like the radio hits, the clean version, the dirty version. Like I remember all that kind of shit, man. Like, I remember Napster and LimeWire.
Yes, sir. Yes,
shit
sir.
like that. Like,
I'm gonna switch directions on this conversation because I don't want to take up all your day here. We good. Because I want to close out this interview because this amount of information is going to take me a long time to process and chop it up.
Yes, sir.
But we're gonna need a boxing nerd. All right, this 100-year anniversary issue of the Ring magazine came out. Right, they had this like subjective grading system of the greatest fighters of all time. And in their list for the 5 greatest fighters of all time on this magazine, their 5 greatest fighters, at number 5 was Emil Griffith, a fighter you put me up on. Number 4 was Tony Canzoneri. Number 3 was Muhammad Ali. Number 2, Joe Louis. Number 1, Sugar Ray Robinson. Do you agree with that list? And who is your top 3 to 5 all time?
Well, the Ring magazine, they're the boxing Bible, the Bible of boxing. And like you say, that's 100-year issue. So they have to take in consideration of those guys like that. You got to go back to the black and white days, because boxing That's truly when boxing was at its purest form. It was before the 80s, and it became this mega money grab.
Mm-hmm.
Color television presented sport. So I understand.
Oh, you cutting out. What happened? Did I lose you? The screen paused and I see no visuals. Uh-oh, what happened, Mr. Shaw?
Can
Hold
you
on.
hear me?
Yes, sir. All right, we good.
My bad. That's Wi-Fi shit. My
No
bad.
biggie.
I asked who was the fourth guy they had behind.
So we had Emil Griffith, Tony Canzaneri.
Tony Canzaneri. Who is that? I don't know.
Tony Canzaneri was an old school fighter, and I was surprised by that as the number 4 guy. He fought in the early 30s, and his list of people that he fought is just bonkers, man. Like
who was the great fighter he beat though?
He did beat Barney Ross, who was one of the famous Jewish dudes. Kid Chocolate, who was a real famous dude. Eddie Civic, Battling Shaw. These are like the old school. Battling Shaw, that was the first Mexican champion right there.
Battling Shaw.
Yes, sir. Battling Shaw.
Woo, Battling Shaw.
Singer. These are like the old school names that I've heard of. But honestly, when I was looking at his resume, I was like, dang, that's crazy. Because a lot of these names, that little early 30s era, I'm not going to lie. I know like the early 1900s, the Jack Johnson, Jack Dempsey era. But when it comes to the end of the Gene Tunney area in the late 20s, early 30s, I'm kind of a blank on that one. Then you get to the 40s.
But when you told me like he beat Barney Ross.
Yeah, he beat Barney Ross.
He beat Kid Chocolate, the original Cuban, the first Cuban.
Yes, sir. I like history. I like that.
Then he beat who else?
He beat Battling Shaw. He's beat Al Singer, Jackie Berg, Lou Ambers. Like his list and his record was 137, 24, and 10. So they built this grading system that they did based on the amount of title defenses, the amount of ring ranked opponents that you fought. They docked you for your losses, but the losses weren't so significant if you stepped up in weight. So it tried to be subjective. And they got Money May. Floyd is number 6, right after Emil Griffith. Okay. Which if you were to ask the new generation, Floyd to GOAT. So
right.
So in your personal top.
My top 5 favorite, my top favorite, or who I think are the top 5 greatest fighters ever.
On you.
Okay. I'm gonna give my top 5 favorites.
All right.
Number 5, I have to say.
Oh, the visuals went out.
And my dad's trying to call.
No worries.
On a Zoom interview, man.
So it's all good. We'll get through this real quickly.
Yeah. My bad.
Your top 5 favorite fighters of all time, Stephan Shaw.
No list, no particular order. I'm gonna have to go Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, Mike Tyson, Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather.
Ooh, that's Murderer's Row.
Those are my 5 favorite of all time, who I sit back and watch.
Today is Roy Jones Jr.'s birthday, actually. I think I don't know, at 54, something like that. It's his birthday.
What's today? Yes, it's the 16th. And my grandmother, and tomorrow is Ali's birthday.
Oh, snap. I didn't know that. Nice.
Yesterday was Bernard Hopkins' birthday.
Nice. B-Hop the Alien. That was one of my favorite dudes. Him,
I think it was on the 14th. I think it was on the 14th or the 15th. And then on the 19th, George Foreman's birthday.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? Like all those great Capricorns. And then I think like on the 5th, it was Sweet Pea Whitaker's. You know what I mean? So boom. And then like after that, I'll probably have then I have to go with Pernell Whitaker, Sugar Ray Robinson, Lennox Lewis.
Okay. Underrated. Lennox Lewis is major underrated.
He beat everybody he fought.
He did. And he avenged all his losses.
That's what I'm saying. He beat everybody he fought.
Mm-hmm.
He beat everybody he fought. Then I'll probably have to say Larry Holmes, man. I'll probably have to say Larry Holmes.
He defended his belt like 20 times. One of the most dominant heavyweights ever.
Of all time, bro.
Yes, sir.
He was great. Like, and You know, like it took a St. Louis fighter to stop his reign. You know what I mean?
Spinks, Mr. Michael Spinks, the greatest light heavyweight champion to ever walk the earth.
And then what made Mike Tyson so great? He beat that same St. Louis guy.
Mm-hmm. He caught Mike Spinks at the very end, though. He caught Michael Spinks at the very tail end.
You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying.
Tyson,
like even what you say? Talk about it.
No, it's hard because we all love Mike. How do you not? Mike
ain't fight nobody for real.
But he didn't, bro. He's like he was like the most amazingly manufactured and marketed champion, and he made like $1 billion with Don. Him and Don combined made like
he made about 500 to 600 million.
You know, and he didn't fight Ray Mercer. He didn't fight David Tua. He didn't fight Chris Byrd. He was ducking him.
Bro, let me tell you something.
He was ducking him, but he didn't fight them.
Bro, he wasn't ducking him. Boy,
Tommy Morrison.
Look, he would have fucked him up. Listen, look, let me say this, bro. Just think about this. He beat Frank. Who was Lennox Lewis is a WBC champion. He lost to Oliver McCall.
Yeah.
Oliver McCall lost to Frank Bruno. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Tyson knocks out Frank Bruno, becomes a WBC champion. Who's the number one contender that they want him to fight now? Who's this mandatory? Lennox Lewis.
That
back in 95. He gave up that WBC title and fought Bruce Seldon for the WBA title.
Because he didn't want that Lennox smoke?
Why didn't he keep the WBC title?
I don't know. Who was the one that threw the belt in the trash as opposed to defend it against
Riddick Bowe? Like, that's what I'm saying, bro. It was Riddick Bowe. Bowe. Both of them boys from Brooklyn. Look, Riddick Bowe did the same thing with Lennox. He did. Okay, and now Lennox, they awarded Lennox the title. Lennox fought. Then he fought Oliver McCall, got knocked out. Then Oliver McCall fought Bruno, and Bruno lost, and Tyson fought Bruno. Tyson was supposed to defend his title against the mandatory. He opted to not fight his mandatory. So they stripped him.
And
why did he fight Lennox Lewis?
Because he got that work when they were sparring when he was younger, and he knew that Lennox Lewis wasn't no punk. Because he knew it. And it's funny because Mike Tyson,
I love Tyson. I just told you he one of my top five.
At the end of what's crazy is like when all is said and done 20, 30 years from now, we might only mention Ali, Mayweather, Tyson, Duran, Chavez, if even them. But Tyson is going to be one of the dudes that gets talked about in history, even though realistically, he didn't really beat Holyfield or Lewis or any of the other aforementioned names. He didn't fight Oliver McCall. Like, it's crazy, man.
The greatest and the only true the like all-time great fighter that he did beat was Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes was coming off a 2-year layoff, but you can't. And then, but then you got to give him credit for that Larry Holmes victory because Larry Holmes fought Holyfield in '92. Matter of fact, he
took him the whole distance.
He beat Ray Mercer. He beat Ray Mercer, then fought Evander Holyfield, and damn near beat Holyfield.
So you gotta give him credit for the Larry Holmes. You gotta give him credit.
So you gotta give him credit. So you gotta give Tyson credit for that Larry Holmes win. You know what I'm saying? Nobody had knocked out. Nobody. That's the only time Larry Holmes has been knocked out.
Crazy, man. Straight encyclopedias, bonkers with you. Okay.
Oh man, that's what I'm saying, bro.
I know. When you start getting towards the tail end of your boxing career, you want to gradually make the move over to this microphone, my guy. I'm telling you,
bro.
That's dude like Sean Porter. He did it so smooth, that transition. And I'm just like, Sean, you got
my best friend.
It's priceless. What's in there is priceless.
Me and my best friend back home, man, we he come into my fight. That's my boy. Like, he like my brother. Like, we already talked about starting our own podcast, man. That I got to, man. I'm about to be 30 this year. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, I turned pro at 21, man. I turned pro at 21, man.
Who are your favorite 5 fighters in the game right now?
Woo! I gotta go with
your
Crawford,
pound for pound. Go ahead.
Crawford, Canelo. I gotta go with Crawford, Canelo. I love Gervonta Davis, man.
Nice.
I love me some Tank. Love Tank. Number 4. Like, exclude myself.
If you want to include you, go ahead.
I mean, I feel like, yes, me, like I'm number 1, of course. Like me, Crawford, Canelo, Gervonta Davis. But I ain't even gonna exclude me. I ain't even gonna include me. Like, I already know where I'm at. Like,
all right, Stephan Shaw. You'll give me your top 5, Stephan Shaw.
Crawford, Canelo, Gervonta. Oh man, it gets so tricky after that, man.
There's a lot of good ones.
It's a lot of good ones, but it's not like those, like that great, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, hey, Artur Beterbiev is dangerous.
Yes, sir. 17 knockouts, 17-0.
Dangerous. He beat Mike Hunter in the Olympics.
Oh, I didn't know that. I did not know that.
201 minus.
You got Monster Inoue. You got the Charlos. You got
oh man, him. He number 4.
Little Monster. Okay,
Monster number 4, dog. I gotta give it to Monster. Monster number 4.
They got that. Who's taking that 5th spot? Is it Usyk, Taylor, Charlo?
I'm gonna give it to Usyk, dog. I gotta give it to Usyk. Usyk a bad boy. I ain't gonna lie. Usyk, nice. And that's a fight. That'll be a great fight. I feel that'll be a great fight. That'll be a
I'll be down for it. Let's see it happen.
That'll be a great fight. Oh man, Usyk. Hey, I love to fight Usyk. I love to fight Usyk, Joshua, Fury, Ruiz, Wilder. But like for real, like I want to fight like Dominic Brazil. Bermain Stephan. They can give me Adam Kalnacki. They can give me Tony Yoka. I'll fuck Tony Yoka up. You know what I'm saying?
He fighting Flip Ergovic. He taking that fight.
Philip Hegrovic. You know, Hegrovic, Jared Anderson, Robert Helenius, the whole entire division. I'll fight them all. Like, for real, like, that's where I'm at in my career. I'm about to be 30 this year. I mean, if I ain't thinking like that, then I ain't thinking.
Nice. All right, Mr. Shaw. That's as many questions as I had to ask. This was very educational. So I'm gonna put this on my.
We got to do a part 2, man. We got to do a part 2, bro.
Oh man, we're gonna do a part million. I'm here for the ride. I'm buckled in. I'm Team Big Shot. Let's go.
Let's go, bro. Hey, like I say, you could be my Howard Cosell, bro. That's what I need.
Man, thank you for granting me this opportunity to do this talk with you, Stephan. I look forward to doing more of these in the future, and this is going to look crazy when I set it up on the TikTok.
Yes, sir,
thank
bro.
Thank you for giving me the time, and I'll be seeing you in the gym shortly, Mr. Shaw. Thank you.
Yes, sir, bro. Appreciate you, dog.
Have a good Saturday.